I'm going to start out with Van Halen, but not where you think it might go. I have no problem with Sammy Hagar coming in the band. There's the Dave camp. There's the Sammy camp. There are very, very few in the Gary Sharon camp. But I had no problem with Sammy Hagar, where the band went. But this might make someone like Marty and some of the heavier guys who dug, and I'm one of them. I really liked the heavy Van Halen. A little poppier with Sammy, no problem. And he still brought a lot of good licks throughout the years, but with more of that keyboard pop sensibility. I proffer this. Another guitarist who was on his way up in the early to mid 80s, and a guy with a major Led Zeppelin kick to his music. Had worked with Queen's producer Mac on his first two albums, Don't Say No and Emotions in Motion. Billy Squier coming in.
Wow.
And I've learned through the years that Sammy Hagar is no slouch on the guitar.
Not at all.
And which you never really got to know in Van Halen unless they were playing live, and he would take some of this up while Eddie was doing the keyboard. But Billy Squier, I've always thought that he would have brought a little bit of a tougher edge to it. Definitely still some pop sensibilities, but more. I mean, you just listen to his licks and the drums from Bobby Choiner. They had that John Bonham thing, and not that Alex Van Halen obviously does too. So I mean, yeah. Billy Squier, I really would have dug it, and we wouldn't have been spared that Rocky Tonight video. I always correct it. It's Rock Me Tonight. And the Signs of Life album came out in 1984, so that overlap from Van Halen's 1984. But let's face it, everyone says that Rock Me Tonight killed Billy Squier's career. Maybe, maybe not. But I will say this. In 1986, in the Live Without a Net video, Eddie Van Halen, he was wearing those pastel jammy bottoms just the same way that Billy Squier did in the Rock Me Tonight video.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Van Halen, what do you think? What's your thoughts on Billy Squier, perhaps?
I'm a big Billy Squier fan. Maybe at the time anyway, probably would have said I was as close to a Billy Squier fan as a Sammy Hagar fan. And you're right. They got a little more poppy, not a lot, but they got a little more poppy with Sammy. And I kind of like that idea. And a guy who's, he's just recently crested. He's maybe could use the pop in his career. I like it.
And it could have rescued him from Rock Me Tonight, where he was banished from that one.
Yes. Wow. You really hated that, man.
No, I like that song, but I'm not one of those people. I don't believe that it wrecked his career. I think, well, it obviously played a part in it, but I like the song. What was it? Yeah, he had one or two albums after Signs of Life. Hear Me Now or Hear You Now. Decent. There were just a couple of good songs, the singles from those albums, but Don't Say No, Emotions in Motion. I love both those albums to this day. Yeah, I will not skip a track on either of those. And again, the trajectory that he and Sammy have, of course, had a longer history of success with Montrose than a solo career, and HSAS in '84. But Squier, I always think that would have been a good call for Van Halen.
Yeah, that's a real good fit. I like that.
All over the place, where the fun sanity never ends.